No pressure here. So
Look
Can
at
I
that
get
thing
a-
right
I gotta
there.
find something quick.
Can I get up?
You do become vulnerable.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember what vulnerable does. Do you see that up right there?
I believe it gives you like disadvantage, people advantage to hit you or something like that. Justin,
quick
do you
reference,
have vulnerable? A
written
condition that allows rolls against you to be at advantage.
Okay.
Justin,
Any
do you
rolls
have
against you.
do you
Do I
have
have
written down because apparently the fucking PDF that I was writing on making Ripley didn't save the words.
Oh no.
Okay.
That's not good. That's kind of
So-
the thing you wanted it to have on it, right?
Well,
yeah.
were
So I just
things-
need to know. I need to know what I had as far as a primary and secondary.
You, I think, went with a short bow, and
Yeah, I had short bow as a primary, and then did I have a short sword as an offhand?
I think so. Not as an offhand, as a secondary. Yeah. So you can use one or the other. I think short bows take both your hands, obviously. But
It does.
Yeah. As it should.
yes.
And then we're not marking anything in these proficiency spots, right?
You have one proficiency. Alex has 2 because he's level 2. And
Those
Proficiency-
mine's blacked out on the page by
Yeah.
default.
proficiency.
one of them.
You start with one.
Right. You start with 1. So that's the one you start with. Proficiency in this game basically is how many damage dice you roll for the weapon that you're rolling with.
Yep.
So if you have a D6 weapon, and you had 2 proficiency, you would roll 2d6 instead of 1d6.
And I love the hunter because the hunter class I went with, I can mark a stress to gain a proficiency to roll more dice.
Hell yeah.
Dice go brrr.
Exactly.
All right. Ready?
Ready.
Welcome to session 2 of our open beta playthrough of Daggerheart by Darrington Press. We are Dead Sons Company. Head over to deadsonsco.com for more information and keep an eye out for announcements. Head over to patreon.com/deadsonscompany to sign up for announcements and hopefully support us if you like what we're doing. It'll help us pay for art and software to help us do this, so it is much appreciated. Last time in Erisset, our party was introduced in the stronghold of Eventide, on the outskirts of the city of Tidriel, a golden city of trade beside the Sea of Clouds. Oxley Spurbane awoke and did his rounds as the custodian of our fair order, while Gerard Graves spread his wisdom to the younger aspirants. Ripley slept in and hitched a ride on one of the custodial carts, rolling his morning J. Nero was ambushed on his way to pick up a barrel of sky carp by Harrow von Reithoff, a constant shadow of his life since birth. And Kai stepped in, conveniently hung over for Nero, to make Harrow brush off in a back alley. Oxley went to clean the leader of the Order's quarters, Lady Estona Sil-Atanri, and had a very interesting conversation where she divulged that she thought he could do more and wanted to sign him up for a surprise training round this afternoon. After lunch, all of our heroes were summoned to this surprise test in the training grounds, and that's where we're picking up now.
So as that announcement concluded,
yes,
announcing all of our names, the entire hall just gets annihilated by Ox. I'm screaming at the top of the lungs. We made the fucking team!
Jesus. Roll presence.
As he does this, can I help him in any way by using Wild Touch to make torches or anything burn a little brighter? I don't know if Wild Touch works like that, but maybe.
What's the range on Wild Touch?
It doesn't have one. It just says you can perform a harmless, subtle effect that involves nature at will, such as causing a flower to rapidly grow, summoning a slight gust of wind, or starting a campfire. And if I can't make the torches, I want to make Ox with his J. I want to make a gust of wind carry the smoke of the J of the roach that he inhaled as he yells. If any smoke comes out of his mouth, I want it to whirl around him.
That one we can do. 100%.
Okay. I'm good with that.
So for my presence, I rolled a 16, and hope is the higher of the two numbers.
All right. Gain yourself a hope, which will come in handy very soon. And
Ox, another fatuous display.
your bellowing literally startles all of the aspirants so much that you hear a few of them cry out. And they literally just like stood up and upended a couple of tables. And now there's food mess all over the place.
Motherfuckers. Switch flips, complete psychopath, and he is right over there knife handing these motherfuckers. Pick this food the fuck off my floor.
So Ox yells, "We made the team." A puff of smoke comes out of his mouth. I make it whip around his head, and then he's karate chopping these dudes.
I'm not hitting him. The knife hand. It's the hand of instruction.
Now,
how dare you,
mad mom?
So as Ox is yelling past these people that they need to do this, Nero's not a funny person, but he's got just enough of a sense of humor that I would like to walk past Ox and go, "Very, very good work, Master Ox." And as I do, I'm subtly twinking my fingers to make the food rot faster and sprout mushrooms using Wild Touch.
Do I notice this? Because I know your mushrooms have been a pain in my ass since you've gotten here.
I'm not trying to hide it from you. I did it just to the spilled food just once.
You are actively in cleaning mode. You totally fucking see these mushrooms.
Yeah, I'm doing this just to... As I say this, I'm doing it right at the mess you're yelling at the kid to clean as he's like swiping it with a rag.
Is he within arm's reach of me?
Everything's within arm's reach of you. You're a giant.
I know, but okay. No, he thinks... I'm since I notice it, and he thinks he's being slick. As he's about out of reach, I'm gonna scruff him up and shepherd's hook him right back into this mess and set him to cleaning. You look like you got lost there.
No, Master Ox, not at all. And I just keep walking away.
All right,
fuck,
Gerard.
Just in a pure rage now. Rage cleaning.
As you stand up from your table and hear Ox bellow, how do you react to the bellow, by the way?
I informed him that his display was very fatuous, which I'm sure went right over his head.
Definitely went over mine, but I did hear it. Okay.
Also, Ripley, hop up. It's time to go.
Oh, I was already riding your shell up as you were standing.
I didn't even notice you there.
And how big is Ripley again? Basketball size, you said?
About 10 inches tall, yeah.
Okay.
With his shoes on.
Awesome.
Gerard is hella big.
Gerard, you hear in your mind, nobody else around you can hear. You know the difference by this point between the loudspeaker magic and the in-your-head magic. You may want to bring your A-game, Gerard. This is your nightly test. You must answer the call when it comes. It is part of it. I am sorry there was no way to get you a message earlier, but you must win. You must. Or you will be a squire for another 5 years.
I hear this in my head.
And then you can tell it is from Lady Estona Sil Atanri. She's rooting for you. You and her have gotten fairly close while you've been here. She read all of your letters from your knight, and
Gilmore?
Can you remind me his name?
Sir Gilmore,
name?
Isn't it?
Sir Gilmore of Glendale, I think it was, right?
I remember that made me happy when I heard it.
He's a happy Gilmore. He is.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So many Easter eggs. But she was very close with your knight, Sir Gilmore, and she was very much in your corner as you're trying to become a knight.
Well, as this happens, we're all kind of in the same area. I guess I'm just gonna say out loud to at least Ripley that I know is on my shoulder.
This just became much more important. The task must be completed successfully.
All right, let's do some task. What's the task?
Task. Well,
All right.
I don't know the task.
Oh, we're not off to a good start, bro.
As you guys move down the hall, you are currently in the outer wall area in the mess hall. You are moving toward the training grounds, which is in the center in front of the keep. So you kind of walk through the central structure. You make stops to pick up your weapons of choice, whatever they are, and make your
Ripley,
way
help me screw these things on my back, would you?
through the hall. You use the non-lethal versions. This is a training exercise
The
after
rubber
all.
spikes.
Yeah, they're my dummy spikes.
Wait, is Gerard? Hang on, is Gerard Metal Bowser with like just spikes out of his shell?
Didn't you hear me
Yes.
singing Peaches this morning?
Peaches, 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 peaches,
Peaches.
But the smell of sweat and the faint smoke of wooden training weapons striking repeatedly against each other fills the training yard as you wend your way from the barracks out into the bright sunlight. A shallow ring of brass marks the 30-foot sparring circle on your left, filled with a thin layer of fine-grained sand. Wooden training dummies and shield-shaped targets encircle the area. To the right, a deep pit of sand separates two 20-foot tall scaffolding towers connected by a thin balance beam. One of these towers is built alongside a scaffolding ramp of planked wood beams, and is crenellated with big boxy crates and barrels. Also entering the grounds are a group of other aspirants who you're familiar with, led by someone who is already a lieutenant in the order, but is not officially a knight. So he has been operating as a soldier within the order and is a lieutenant. Lieutenant Denesto Prell, an elf ranger with braided brown hair. He's always puffing on a cigar, grumpily. He's kind of like Gerard, but not
He's
Gerard.
a bit of a weak ass, though.
So when we see these dudes start to walk in, Ox is going to go up to Gerard and give him a little elbow. Check out these dorks.
I've always said he's got a mind like a urinal cake. Empty up there.
He has no aim either. Constantly finding piss on the rim.
He's the serial floor pisser.
All right. Just give me 1 minute.
Sinestro Prell, huh? The elf with a cigar.
Oh, there will be names up
Sinestro?
very soon. Just give me 1 second.
Prell.
Hey, I'm just trying to be a good player over here, and like,
Oh, you're my favorite. Don't worry.
Well, that's perfect. I'll be sure to not write anything down.
you mean like you do every game we play?
That's right. It's all up here, man.
Yeah, I'm just going
Notes
to take the
break
keen
immersion.
memory feat.
What's up?
I said, yeah, I'm
I
just going to
agree.
take the keen memory feat.
Every D&D game ever.
All right. I need to switch out something on these tokens quick because apparently tinting them red tints the whole thing red, and I don't want that. So, meow.
Tenant
Tinted the
Prell.
whole like scene red.
No. I'll show you later.
You
It's
painting the roses red, sir?
It's weird. But love Foundry, but sometimes changing things on the fly is not easy.
Once you get I know you haven't DM'd in Foundry as much. Once you get a little more familiar, it's not too bad. It's got a lot of good perks.
You're not my real dad.
I don't want to be your real dad.
Don't tell me what's going to be okay. Don't lie to me. Don't give me hope.
I never said it was going to be okay or lie to you. It's not going to be okay. You have 5 of us as a party.
Ooh, you're kind of screwed.
Look at those fellas.
Oh, geez, Scruff. Scruff, you fucked everything up. That's what I meant, by the way.
Oh.
You saw that.
By the way, remind me after this to show you how to install the module so you can shrink tabs without getting rid of them.
Justin, I simultaneously love and hate what I'm seeing right now.
Same.
Mhm.
So,
As it should be. If that is not always the case, I'm failing. All right. As you enter the training grounds and are affronted by your opponent team, a familiar golden and iron-clad dwarf with a big blonde beard and a blonde mohawk storms in as if everything is on fire and shouts, "All right, you wee bastards, form a line before I count to 3, or I'll put this hammer so far up your arse it'll come out your loaf-blessed mouths." This is the Knight Captain Gallant Cleaveheart. And
As he says that, may I say, praise be the loaf.
Shut up and get in line, son.
Ooh, we told you.
Does anybody not get in line?
I get in line, but I take a little bit longer. I'm not ready yet for this exercise, so this 8-foot tall hulking giant's gonna take off his the top of his coveralls and tie it around his waist, and now he is this massively barrel-chested, slabs on slabs of muscle giant. Then I'm gonna take my it looks like a mop in my hands, and I'm gonna take the mop head off and let it thud to the ground, and it cracks cobbles. It's heavy as shit.
Seeing you do this, Humphrey the Horned, a Daemon mage, he's got light orange tinted skin and 2 horns that kind of stick up. He has a very prissy, opulent demeanor. He looks at you and says, "Oh, he's disgusting."
after he tells us to line up, I'll kind of echo back to the 4 of them.
Hurry now. Get in line. It's the most important day of our lives.
You see Ox visibly shitting himself. He's looking around for something. He's lost something. He cannot find it. And then I'm going to stalk over to the far side where there's a trash can. I'm going to steal that lid and come back over and slap that on my back. I forgot my shield. We're good now. And then I'll get in line.
So you're an 8-foot tall, barrel-chested dude with your coveralls wrapped around your waist like a Midwestern dad. And you have a mop and a trash can lid.
Yep. And I'm about to take out the trash.
That trash can lid would probably look like a buckler in your hands.
Seriously.
Take out the trash.
Well,
Probably
that's
would.
good, because that's what I have. It's, what is this?
What a vacuous decision you've made, Ox. Very good.
Just wait till I fart magic.
Delightful.
The fuck does that mean?
Do we have any time to like prepare or do anything as Gallant Cleaveheart is doing his thing?
What are you thinking? He's shouting, basically, the rules right now.
As he shouts, I'm absolutely ignoring the rules, knowing Gerard is going to yell at me as to what to do, and I'm pulling out the item I keep on my person at all times, which is the strange pendant. It's the piece of Rip's tooth and fur, and I'd like to use a spell. I want to put Rune Ward on Gerard.
Does that have like a time it lasts? I'm not as familiar with domain cards in this as
Rune Ward is a spell.
I'd like to
So the arcane domain, it says you have a deeply personal token or trinket that can be infused with protective magic and held as a ward by you or an ally. Describe what it is and why it's important to you. My token is the last remnants of my coyote friend Rip, who used to help me find bodies to help send back to the Spore Mother. And when the holder of the ward takes damage, they can spend a hope to reduce it by a d8. So I want to take it out and do a little fungal magic and have spores swirl all around it to infuse into it, so it starts to like almost sprout little tiny mushrooms itself. And then without him looking, I'm just going to hook it on one of Gerard's back spikes.
And it doesn't need you to make any rolls or anything like that, right?
It doesn't look like it.
And that's
looks
fine.
like I can just do it.
Yeah. So yes, you can. And I'm going to just quick remind how combat works in this, because we are about to dive into some. The only real difference between combat and not combat is as you take actions of any kind in combat, you spend an action token into the pool. So does it say you can use an action to do it, or does it say you just do it?
You have a deeply personal token or trinket that can be infused. Describe what it is when the holder of the ward takes damage. It doesn't say it's an action. I would assume that it would be, because I'm casting a spell.
Yeah. So I'm going to just say, Eric, if you feel like double checking me soonish, feel free, but I'm going to say it's an action. Just throw an action token in the action tracker.
Pretty sure it is an action.
Yeah. If it's a
Brad,
spell or an ability, I'm assuming it's an action at this point.
Do you say anything or make any noise while you're doing this, or is this silent?
I'm muttering under my breath, and I'm just like saying a thanks to my buddy Rick
I am
for
on
giving his
high
life.
alert, and even though you're doing something nice for me, you're gonna get a stiff nudge to the ribs with my elbow.
So as you give me the stiff
Shut up
nudge,
and listen to the instructions.
as you've given me the stiff nudge, I finish and I go, of course, Lord Graves, and I just hang it on your shell and I go, that's for you.
As you all know, this is a magically protected training ground, so if you take a little bit of damage, don't worry about it. You won't die, I promise. And if you do die, well, all right, to your corners.
And by corners, you all know the drill on this one. Gerard, you were paying attention, so you know. He basically said you all need to start in the sparring ground. Everyone starts in the sparring ground. Where you move from there as it starts is up to you. There are 3 areas that are within your limits for this training. If you leave the zones that are designated for this combat, that person will be disqualified. So you have to stay within the zones. Your goal is to either knock the other participants out of the zones that you are allowed to be in, or knock them out, which for combat purposes means all their hit points gone.
So the obstacle course is part of the battleground?
Yes.
Okay, I thought we were getting into some kind of like
So
Like a
I haven't-
triathlon.
yeah, I
right,
haven't-
right. That's what I envisioned.
yeah, I haven't done this with you guys before because I just kind of figured out how I want to do this. This is how I want to run zone combat. We're going to try it out, see how it works. Basically, I'm going to put tokens on the screen that represent the zones that are in the battlefield. They are all somewhere between 10 and 30 foot round, give or take. If you are curious how the mechanics of this are going to work, there's a combat tab under the game reference that I will show to you right now. Basically, under the combat section, zones aren't really built into Daggerheart's rules so much. They use range bands. What we're going to do basically is do an adjacent zone is within close range. Anything in your current zone is either melee, very close, or close, depending on where in the zone you are. We'll kind of navigate that as we go through the narrative. And then moving any further than close, so any more than one zone over, which isn't going to be even a thing in this particular battleground, you'll have to roll an agility to see if you can make it there. Any questions?
I have an update for you, though. I quickly checked the massive manuscript, and on page 32, it says that domain cards, which I just used, some domain cards provide moves, which you can make, see on your turn in Chapter 2, like a unique attack or spell you can cast. Others offer passive benefits, which always apply while you hold that card. So it's up to you to rule this. It's a passive benefit that happens while somebody holds the ward, but if you're going to say that me making the ward happen was an
That
action,
is not an action. I'm taking that action marker back.
okay. Figured I'd just tell you how it worked.
I'm still getting used to the rules
him
here, too.
casting the
That's what I was going to
spell,
say.
though.
I'm okay if you
That
say
might
it's
be
an
an
action
action.
for me to have done it
Using
and made
it
it ready.
is not an action.
Is casting a spell an action in the actions? I don't even remember.
It says casting a spell or using an action is an action, but they vary. It's very have fun GM. You can have your choice kind of vague.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Like I said, I'm okay if you tell me that swirling my hands about and infusing it is an action.
I think Rune Ward is one of those exceptions because in your other ability, Nature's Tongue, it literally has you make a roll. So I think if you're not making a roll, it's not an action. Because
I'm good with that.
at least for now until I run into something where that doesn't make sense. But
Deal.
all right, let's do this. Just by default, there's no initiative order in this. You guys go first, and you go until one of you rolls a fail or a fear, one or the other, or until I jump in with my own fear.
Okay.
So you are all lined up in this sparring circle. The sand is gritty beneath your feet. The brass ring surrounds you. The heat of the day is coming into view. Your opponents are before you. They outnumber you by 1.
Not for long.
Are we all standing outside of the rings right now?
You are all now just stepping in as the knight captain says, "Fight."
Lord Graves, do you want me to do the thing where I turn into a wolf?
I want you to do whatever's going to get them out of the ring.
Kai's going to, as they're chatting about this, going to run up to the closest combatant to him, which I don't know who that might be, but...
They're all kind of equidistant from you right now.
All right, then I'm going to aim for Humphrey the Horn, because he's an ugly SOB.
All right,
Yep.
I'm going to put you and Humphrey the Horn overlapping then.
Stupid horns.
And Kai's actually going to take out his... As he's running up, he's drawing his scimitars and going to attack.
Actually, I'm going to try. I don't think I could fit all you guys in here, but...
I noticed Ripley immediately went to the forest. Good choice.
Ripley can't move yet. So
Hey, Jerry, where would you like Big Ox?
I think you and I need to be in the front. Let these sneaky, fast little fellas go around the outside.
Yes, boss.
I'm going to spend a hope on my attack as I'm doing this to make him my ranger's focus.
Okay. Spend that hope, and what does that do?
Basically, it makes I can basically, if I hit with them, I know precisely what direction they are in at all times. All damage rolls against them make them mark a stress as well. And on a missed attack roll, I can re-roll my duality dice if I want.
Okay.
And that's going to be a 14 hope.
14 with hope. And I'm sorry, you're rolling for... It succeeds at a certain point. I assume it has a difficulty level.
With the ranger's focus?
Yeah.
No, it's basically just if I hit them with my regular attack.
Okay, so you're rolling to hit right now.
Yes, I'm rolling to hit them with my broadsword.
14 with hope.
15, because I forgot about my broadsword.
15 with hope does pass his evasion. So swing on, sir.
And I'm assuming because I rolled with hope, I get another hope back.
You do.
So it's a wash in that. I'm going to leave that where it is. And I am also going to, with my damage, mark a stress via Apex Predator to increase my proficiency by 1 for the damage roll.
Okay, so roll 2 of your damage dice instead of 1. Unless you already had a 2 proficiency, which I don't think you did.
No, I have 1, so 7.
And you said he marks a stress too, right?
He will actually, mark a stress as well, and then I will see how much damage I do with this. So that's going to be, let me mark this down so I can do math quick. And 2, so that's going to be 14 damage.
Okay. That does exceed his severe.
Oh, let's go.
In that case, he then will have to mark an additional stress
Oh, yeah.
because
Apex
of Apex
Predator.
Predator.
So severe is 3 HP. How do you strike him? Where do you hit him? He's kind of so Humphrey the Horned is that Daemon mage with an orange tinted skin who's kind of like standing back and calling Oxley disgusting. That's the guy you're hitting right now.
Kai is basically running up and doing like a spinning slash at him, and like as he's slashing, he's like running by him, so he's gonna end up behind him, and so he's kind of just like catches him on the back end of it.
Your scimitar cuts into his clothing, and you feel that resistance that you're used to at this point on this training grounds. It's almost like there's a magical armor underneath that's like slowly draining them. But it cuts through his clothing, and he just goes, "How dare you?"
GM,
Sir, you look
given
concerned.
that we're in a magical training ground that has magical protections against damage, would magical attacks violate that and break through it?
No, it's basically my version of you have padding on your swords.
Making sure that I didn't use a magic weapon and accidentally violate a rule.
No, you're good.
Do we just go in any order at this point then?
Yep.
Yeah, you guys choose
All right,
who goes next.
Gerard is gonna come flying down right into the middle here, and I am going to be taking a swipe at Lieutenant. Your days are numbered here. So I'm gonna pull back my mace. That is going to be a 16 with hope.
16 with hope does break through.
So that's 2d8. Dang it, I only grabbed d12s because I thought that's all I needed. Hold on. Let me find d8s real quick.
To be fair, they're the most important thing you needed. Does
Yeah.
someone else
Sure.
want to go while he's doing that?
Well, he
I
finds
can go.
Go ahead, Ox.
Yeah.
Nice thing about this, we don't have to wait.
So I'm gonna
That's
wade in.
11 damage plus 1, 12.
Guys, as you're acting, don't forget to add action tokens to the action tracker.
I wasn't sure if you wanted us to do it or.
Yeah, go for it. One less thing for me to manage.
I
Alright,
added
I'll
9.
get yours as well. Oh, you're.
I already did it
Thank you.
for me.
And you said how much damage?
12 damage.
That breaks the lieutenant's severe threshold.
Ooh.
You will deal 3 hit points of damage. As they recoil away. And actually, as they are the lieutenant and they were just struck, Oxley, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm in front of Scruff, but how far away is the lieutenant and Tusk Girl from me? Like,
So you're all
where can I be placed so I'm within
you're all
very
within
close range?
You're all within 30 feet of each other. Each one of them is within maybe 5 or 10. So you can run up. You can get 2 of them within very close range right now. If you
Okay.
wanted to get 2 of them in very close range.
Yep, that's what I want to do. So with Tusk Girl and Scruff,
It's just a big
circle.
circle of sand. So you guys are all
Okay.
in a 30-foot circle.
Let's make a meat shield.
Okay, so now I'm gonna roll to attack.
And as Ox does that, are we able? I know you said something about the lieutenant. Is he about to jump in, or are we able to jump in?
I'll tell you after Ox is done with his action.
Okay.
So that is, and then we use the modifier, or that's with damage. When do we use the modifier to add to our score, like our strength? Or
I
am I tripping?
don't know.
If you're rolling to hit, I think you use the trait of the weapon. So, like, if I
Yeah,
have
I
an
think
instant
it's
weapon,
with the.
Yeah,
I would
there's an
roll
attack
up the
modifier, and
Oh,
then
here it
there's
is.
typically a
Strength.
damage
It's
modifier.
right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh,
I think your damage modifier is always your proficiency, isn't it?
when
Yeah, damage does not add your ability modifier or whatever
Is
it's
that
called.
to hit then?
Yeah.
I think
so
it's just to hit.
Got it.
I messed that up then. So when I took my hit, I rolled a 16 with hope. I should have added my +3 strength.
Then you should have added the +3. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it should have been a 19. Well, it hit either way.
Still
so
went
that's
through.
cool.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna. Actually, 19. It was 19.
It would have
My
been
roll would have been a 19 if I had added my
to
strength
hit.
to hit.
That is a critical damage then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it does make a difference.
It
Okay.
does make a difference. It adds
Let's
one
go,
more-
Jerry.
Don't.
One more hit point gone.
already did it. It's stuck. It's stuck.
Me.
All right. So, Ox, what did you roll?
All right. I rolled a unnatural 20. But so 11 hope, 9 fear, so that'll be hope. And it's actually a 22 because of my strength modifier.
Okay, and you're doing a whirlwind attack, or are you doing some kind of...
That was my next thing that I was going to say. So I'm going to spend a hope to basically whatever damage I execute, half damage to the other enemy.
Okay, who's your primary?
Scrooge?
This douche Scruff, yeah. I don't like his loot.
Hit Lieutenant Dan.
Okay,
His name is literally Lieutenant Dan.
He's going after Scruff and Tuskerl.
Yeah, I'm going after these other 2 dudes.
Yeah, let's throw damage everywhere.
All right, so then Dumage. Okay, that's 10, 14. So that's 14 points of damage to Scruff McDuff there.
Ooh. Does anybody remember if a tie with their severe is severe? Because I sure don't.
I believe it is. I believe it's the threshold you have to hit to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a tie with their severe, so that is 3 hit points as you swing through with your mop.
My fucking mop.
You
Just
hit,
Barry Bonds in
you
this
hit
bitch.
Scruff. Scruff is a dwarf, and he's got a big club in his hands, but he's got only whiskers. He doesn't have a beard, and he's got kind of crazy eyes, and he's always looking a little twitchy and surprised. So he kind of twitches away from your mop, and he takes it, and he kind of looks at you, kind of crazy, like he's gonna come back after you.
Well, all he sees is a massive, roided out switch track vein on my forehead, just bumping.
In that case, so that's
Is this guy
said
Peter Pettigrew?
14 for him, so it does half to the other
Half
person.
for the other one, yeah. So 7.
So Tuskerl.
How did you get to 14 damage?
Well, I rolled a 10 on my D12. Plus 3 is the damage, and then I add plus 1. Where is it? There's something
For your
else.
proficiency.
Yeah, for combat training.
Wait, am I supposed to add damage for proficiency too?
I don't think so. Proficiency
You
is
don't.
just how many dice.
How
you
many
roll.
dice?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
How many dice?
I'm
you
adding an additional
yeah.
damage because of class
ability.
feature.
Okay.
So if you
Yeah.
have a D6 weapon and you have 2 proficiency, you roll 2 D6.
Let us cook.
Oh,
If you
Let
have
us
one,
cook.
it's just 1 D6.
Hold the fuck on. No, I'm almost
That's
missed the
badass.
biggest part of my build here. Okay.
Ooh.
So my last hope that I gained, I rolled that, and I probably should have called it out, but rolled it what is this called? My Slayer dice. So I have a D6 that I can use to add to damage or attack rolls. So I'm going to add that to
You're a
my
heavy
damage roll.
hand, man.
Jesus. Yeah. You're
And
doing
that's
some damage.
That's a 5. So that's 19 damage.
Okay, so it's still the severe of Scruff's, but that now takes it into the severe of Tuskerl's as well. So you've done 3 damage to both of them with your whirlwind attack.
Jesus.
Your mop spins around and
And throughout the entire
sweat
ring,
and gross comes off the end of it.
and as you hear it cracking down on him, you hear, "Can it for a greener planet."
Oh, it's so good.
My
is
favorite
it
part
so
of this
good?
is that you didn't clean the mop after cleaning up the bathroom with it this morning.
Yeah,
Dink
just
mop.
waylaying motherfuckers with turds.
All right. I am going to spend
Hell yeah.
fear at this point, and I am jumping in. Scruff gets a little twitchy. And did you add an action tracker token?
Oh, I need to do that.
So 3 action. Ugh.
Yeah. So Scruff gets a little twitchy and bulls past you, but does not actually attack you. He goes straight for Nero, and he shouts really loud, and he says, "You little mushroom!" And he
Before he does that,
Yeah.
is he leaving my melee range?
He is. There's no
Okay.
AOPs unless you have an ability.
There
for
is for me. My skills literally called attack of opportunity.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Do it.
So
those
when-
long
class
ass
that get
arms
it.
of yours.
Fuck yeah. So
That's
when
a
he leaves
reaction,
my
right?
melee range, which is actually short range, it is an agility reaction roll against their difficulty. So
Agility roll away.
So that is a 19 fear.
19 with fear.
20 because of my agility bonus, right?
Yeah, it certainly beats his difficulty. So go ahead and roll damage.
Well, I
Or
get to
what does it do?
choose one of the. Okay, so roll against their difficulty. Choose one effect on a successful roll or 2 on a critical success. So this is 1. I can either keep them from moving, I can deal my primary weapon damage, or I can move with them.
Those are all great.
Those are fantastic.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna keep him from moving.
Okay.
And how do I do? I want to use one of my what do you call those? The expertise or the flares or little sayings,
Experiences?
experiences. Yeah.
Which experience would you like to use?
Well, I want to say, oh no, you don't. And I just grab him by the scruff and bring his ass back into this brawl.
So
I don't really know what I'm going to use it for, but
as
it
a
sounded
reminder,
tight.
experiences, you can certainly use them narratively that way. You had already succeeded. You can also use them by burning a hope to add 2 or 1 to your roll that you're making.
That's right.
Okay. Okay, so in this case, really nothing to do there.
Well, I wouldn't call that nothing, but
Well, no. I meant I got him, but
Yeah,
I'm
don't spend the
not
hope.
utilizing the.
Yeah, you don't
Okay.
need the hope
All
to
right.
do it.
Well, I say it anyway, but
one thing I'm not sure about, and I'm going to say they don't for right now. I don't know if reactions give me an action token or not. Just
They
going to
don't.
say that. Okay,
They
that's
do
what I
not.
thought. Good, because having not been able to move, he will now spin in a circle, and will take a swing at you, Ox, with his club. You just take a look here. Ooh,
So
hang on.
Ox beats the crap out of this guy, and then he comes after me.
Yep.
And Ox just goes, nope.
Remember, you guys are all
No
aspirants.
shit.
They know you guys, so they know your strengths and weaknesses. Like
That's fair.
they know
That's
who
fair.
you are.
Then you should probably tell us who these guys are so we have that information as well.
That's fair. Roll me a knowledge check quick, and I won't count this as an action.
All of us or just him?
That
All of you.
please.
is
Oh fuck.
21 with fear.
Don't even worry about hope and fear on this one. I just want to know the totals.
21.
Knowledge at 12.
14.
9.
4.
This is appropriate. Gerard,
why you need to be paying attention.
you know, but all of your friends don't know. The Lieutenant Dan, is
He's got no legs.
is a elf ranger, so he specializes in long range attacks.
Mhm.
The Humphrey the Horned is a support caster.
Okay.
Scruff is a bruiser type.
Okay.
Sendal Tails is a just kind of support standard, does a little bit of everything person. Very good with javelins. Tenny is a also standard kind of all around, but is a little more of a roguish type. Heavy cloak, pops around, throws smoke, that kind of stuff.
Ripley, Tenny.
And Tuskerel is a skulk, so a very shadowy rogue type. All right. Hope you took notes because I'm not saying that again.
Did. Got them all.
This
Scruff,
music is a little too joyous for this combat. That's
Well,
good.
the-
That's fine.
the scary stuff doesn't seem to want to play in Foundry, but that's
Gotcha.
okay.
I kind of like it. Not gonna lie.
I mean, it is kind of a training bout, so it's not that serious, I
Yeah,
guess.
The stakes aren't real high here.
I mean, they are for Gerard, but the rest of
We
you
do not
don't
need the
so much.
one-winged angel playing just yet.
Biggest day of my life.
Okay, so he's going to make an attack against your evasion. Does a 13 break your evasion? Oh, I'm sorry. 15 break your evasion.
It's
That's
you,
you,
Who's
Ox.
attacking?
You,
Oh,
Ox. You.
sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
kid walked in. Yes, it does. That passes
So-
my evasion.
One quick question: would you consider him within very close range of me?
Yes, he is within 10 feet of you.
I am your shield, and I'm gonna scoot my way. I'm gonna mark a stress, and I'm gonna scoot my way in between him and Scruff and take the damage.
Okay.
Oh shit! All right.
That's wild.
I love this.
Actually, you take no damage, but you are restrained and vulnerable. He actually hits you with the hammer, and you notice at the last second that his hammer on the other side has a hook on it. He rotates it as it hits you and pulls you down.
So no damage is taken?
You take no damage, but you are restrained and vulnerable. So any attacks against you are going to be at advantage, and you won't be able to move. A PC can break free with a Strength 12 roll, or are let go automatically when major damage or higher is dealt to the bruiser.
So
And
with
who
my
did that to him?
retaliation,
Lieutenant Dan?
Scruff did it.
Scruff did it.
Oh,
so
okay.
with my retaliation, it specifically says when I take damage from a character in melee range, so that would not apply in this situation then.
Correct. You don't take any
Unfortunately.
damage.
Darn.
All right. That is, oh shit, one of the actions there.
That's stressful.
What did I do?
Are you on the wrong button?
No, I clicked the token for the actual zone. It's all right. All right. And that is one of my actions. Next, I am having Lieutenant Dan move. And we'll move up to the obstacle course, and we'll make a test to get up on one of the towers. No, actually, it doesn't have to make a test to get up on the towers. Hell yeah. Lieutenant Dan gets up on one of the towers and is going to take a shot at Nero again.
So,
And,
what is his range be from us from right now? Is that far?
no, still close. So adjacent zones are all close.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so
these
he's
are
just
these
above
three.
us.
These three are just three close ranges.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
There is nothing that is far from you right now.
Okay.
Kept it very simple for the first one.
Okay.
And because Lieutenant Dan is up on the catwalk here, we'll have advantage.
Enjoy that D6.
Oh, I don't do D6s. I'm the GM.
Oh, god dang it, you are the GM.
It's just a double roll for me. All right.
Sorry, that was Ox trying magic over here.
Does a 9 hit you past your evasion?
Yeah.
And that will be 12 damage.
Oh, all right. How does armor work? I just reduce it by that much and knock an armor point?
So if you have armor, you can mark the armor.
Yep.
And then reduce it by your armor score.
I think you can do any number of them. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, you can do multiple in one.
Yeah.
If you want to reduce it by that score multiple times.
So 12 damage. So my
At least
major
get under severe.
my major damage threshold is 7. My severe is 14. I'll mark 2 points of armor and take it down to a single minor damage hit point.
Wise. All right.
So then next time I take armor damage, do I get less armor, or is it just 6 notches and it's
No.
gone?
Six
Six
notches
notches
and it's gone.
Thank you.
Yep. That is how it works in this
Basically,
game.
your armor is getting damaged, more or less.
It's a logical system. I just wasn't sure if I was missing something.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Kai, you are... Where the fuck is the other guy at? I'm moving this fucking
Humphrey,
thing.
you talk about, I basically was like, I moved behind him.
Okay.
So I
I'm gonna
ran
do
past him.
that for a second, because Humphrey the Horned is underneath you, it looks like. There it goes. Yeah, he's underneath you. All right. Humphrey the Horned is going to move to between Nero and Kai, and he begins to unleash a flurry of writhing magic in all directions, and you are both wrapped in slithery tendrils of magic. I'm going to make an attack against you.
Is concentration a thing in this game, or is it like a similar mechanic?
I haven't run into it yet, but that
Not
doesn't
really.
mean it's not a thing.
I haven't seen anything about it with all the spells I have.
Does a 15 hit?
Which one of us?
Both of you.
Both.
Absolutely.
All right. You both mark a stress
Okay.
and take... Ooh, and my dice are on fire right now. Another 12 magic damage.
I'm going to mark 2 armor again.
Okay. The good news is that is all of my action tokens. It is now back to you.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna have Ripley hop his way up towards Lieutenant Dan.
So does the fear drop, or do you still have 5 fear tokens that you can just use whenever you want?
So I had 5 fear when I started that turn.
Yep.
I used 1 fear to take over.
Yep.
I spend action tokens to do actions.
Right.
I gained 1 fear because somebody rolled with fear while I was going there. I think it was on Ox's reaction or something.
Oh, that's
That was
right.
mine.
He rolled with. Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
So however many
But that's why.
actions we do, that's how many actions you get when you start.
and he can drop
We
a fear
count 'em
token
up,
whenever
count
he
'em down.
and he
That's
can
right.
drop a fear whenever he wants.
I can
Okay.
drop a fear to do something weird with the environment. I can drop a fear to cut in and take actions. I can drop a fear to do all kinds of stuff. So
All right, Drippy.
All right. Yeah, I'm hopping my way up towards Lieutenant Dan. Oh, Danny boy!
okay. You hop your way up onto the wooden scaffolding ramps that lead up to the tower that he is on. As you make your way up the ramp, I would need you to make an instinct test.
Instinct.
And while Ripley rolls that, I'm yelling out to Gerard. I'm going, Lord Gerard, who should I?
Take care of Humphrey.
Right. And I'm gonna turn into a
It's
wolf.
Humphrey and Sendal are the magic casters, right?
That's what he said. Yeah. Humphrey is support caster. Sendel is just pure support with javelins.
Oh, there was another one that was a caster though.
I think there's only one caster, actually.
There's only one. Okay, take care
Two
of Humphrey.
rogues, a bruiser, a support, and a ranged.
Tuskerl is the other rogue. Tenny is a rogue. Tuskerl's a rogue.
Yep.
Scruff is a brawler. Yeah, go
All
for
right.
Humphrey.
All right, Ripley, what'd you roll?
All right. I rolled you said you added them together and then whatever the higher die is, right?
Yep.
That's a 17 with fear, but
Plus
I know
your-
the tide, so I'm putting. Oh, I have a for instinct. I have a +0.
Okay, so it's how much with fear?
17 with fear, but I'm gonna know the tide, so I'm gonna put a token on my know the tide thing for
Okay.
later.
Sounds good. As you traverse the ramp up, you are tripped up by a trap that is sprung, and I spent a fear to introduce the trap. You will take 1 point of damage.
Does my
Or-
armor supersede that?
Nope. Is that hit your minor threshold, your major threshold, or your severe threshold? I'm assuming it's your minor.
Minor, I guess. I don't
So
know. The layout of this is a little weird.
Yeah, so you have 3 thresholds. One's minor, one's major, one's severe.
Okay.
And
So by putting a check next to the HP for this 1 damage,
So-
that's putting me.
what is your minor score?
Probably 1. I mean, I guess.
Mark 1 HP. Mark 1 HP. It says.
Yep. So and your major is higher than 1, I'm assuming. So you would take 1 hit point of damage. So you mark 1 HP. Or
Okay.
if you have armor, you can also, well, I guess it's never going to get below 1 anyway. So
Gotta take
no
one either
point
way.
there.
All right. So what kind of trap was it?
I am just about to explain it. So as you hit a tripwire as you're hopping up, one of the planks springs up and hits you in the jaw like a cartoon character, and
Son of a bitch.
you fall down on the ramp. You are not able to reach the tower, but you are still on the ramp. So you are on the
hell
obstacle
no.
course, but couldn't quite reach.
So I have no, for lack of a better term, movement left.
Right. Your movement is done for this action. So if you were going to take an action, you can take it from here, or you
All
can
right,
do another
well, then
action.
I'm gonna gain my senses and I'm gonna knock an arrow on my short bow. I'm gonna try and fling it up at him.
And while he's knocking an arrow, I'm yelling at you, Kai, as I'm about to turn into a coyote. I'm going, "Aye, at him," and I'm pointing at Humphrey.
Gladly.
Okay. And I marked the action tracker for that, not for the movement, right?
Correct. Yeah. The action. What I did to you was not an action. That was me spending fear to throw shit at
got
you
you.
in the environment.
So are you now at 4 fear?
16.
He rolled with fear, so I'm back up to 5.
Shit.
So I add my proficiency to the roll and my agility modifier to the roll. Is that how that
Just
works?
the ability
Not adding
modifier.
Proficiency.
Just the modifier. The proficiency tells you how many dice to roll.
Okay, so so I'm not rolling the d12s. I'm rolling whatever the damage die.
You are rolling the d12s to hit.
Roll the d12s
Okay.
first.
So
Yep.
that to hit is 16 with hope.
Okay.
Nice.
Take a hope.
And then
So I'll take.
did
a
you
hope
add your ability for that weapon?
No, I did not. So 18.
18's
Okay.
good.
18 with hope at Lieutenant Dan.
Uh-huh.
That will exceed severe threshold and will hit their, what is it called? Critical something? Somebody help me.
All right, the
Crit-
critical
Am I talking
threshold?
about to hit or to?
Yeah, it shouldn't
I'm
exceed
shooting an
severe
arrow.
for hitting.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
To hit definitely exceeds their difficulty. Sorry. Still getting
Okay,
used
so
to it.
then now I roll their damage and I just use the damage,
Yeah.
whatever the
You
equipment
use
page
your
says,
equipment damage.
which
yeah.
is a d6 plus 3 for a.
Because I'm
Yes.
assuming you have one proficiency right now, so it'd be 1d, whatever, d6.
Yep.
Damn, that one looked like a pretty good hit, Carl.
You look too good for your home. So that is, I rolled a 5, so that's 8 damage.
8 damage exceeds their severe. So they will take 3 more.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weak tip.
AKA they're down.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bye, Lieutenant Dan.
Bitch.
Ripley.
Can we say I shot him in the leg?
As Ripley lets loose an arrow from his... do your arrows have like a special feathering on the back or something that you typically carry around, or are they just kind of standard arrows?
They're standard arrows, but with a bit of panache. The fletching on them is the same yellow that my skin tone has.
As a yellow streak flies up onto the tower and strikes Lieutenant Dan in the leg, the lieutenant stumbles backward, dropping his cigar from his mouth, and falls back onto the pit of sand below. And you'll have to tune in next time to see
Darn.
how this combat resolves and if Gerard Graves can become Sir Gerard Graves.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. Please make sure to check out our website at deadsonsco.com for the latest news and social links. If you like our content, please consider supporting us at patreon.com/deadsonscompany.